A speaker at a Donald Trump rally who had a horrible personal experience is going to explain to you why he thinks you should vote for Trump, and then he claims something that's just outrageous at the very end here.
I'll get right to the point. In March the 2nd, 2008, my son was shot dead in the street like a dog by an illegal alien gangbanger, 18th Street gangbanger. He was on his third gun charge. Now, we hear all these gun people talking about banning guns, but you have a legal alien on his third gun charge, never been deported, and the guy shot him through his hand into his head and killed him. It was vicious. I heard the gunshots. Of course, I ran outside and I couldn't believe it. Even today, I couldn't believe it. I remember telling him, man, I told you people are crazy out there. I had just told him the day before. And, you know, our kids don't believe that, you know, and that's why we need Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is going to make it safe again, you know. Donald Trump is going to make it safe for your kids. My son is dead. I can't fix that. I wish I could. But I have another son, 17 years old. He was 8 at the time. Now he's 17. I saw him the other day, man, you know you're older than your brother now, you know, and it's really sad. And Trump is the only person that reached out to me out of all the politicians, all the black politicians in LA. Nobody cares. It's all about illegal aliens. That's all they care about. They don't care about us as Americans. Trump wants to make America first. Okay? We need that. Our kids, all of our kids deserve to grow up. This is our time to live on the earth. Why do we have to be under this oppression from illegal aliens, and they're getting the American dream and we're getting the American nightmare? You know, it's not fair, and the only way we can fix it is with Donald Trump. I don't see no other way. If it was there, it would have happened. Before Trump, there was nothing going on. Now that he's here, they're scared, and we have to make sure it happens, because it's going to protect all of us and make us safe. And we got to stand with Trump, and you have to trust him the way I do, because I believe that he was sent from God. Thank you.
The audience ate that up when he says at the end, he was sent from God. If that's who God sent, I don't want to worship that God. That God can blow me. Really? That's the guy who you're going to send? The buffoon with the meerkat on his head, who's clearly bigoted, who wants to prevent all Muslims from entering the U.S., who has horrible policy ideas, who contradicts himself every 8 seconds. I mean, ugh. You want to talk about the polar opposite of, because that audience is full of Christians, the polar opposite of the hippie Jesus message in parts of the New Testament. That would be Donald Trump. But, okay, you can say, Kyle, he just, you know, that was just a throwaway comment at the end. He's not literally saying he was sent from God. Fair enough. He's just overflowing with adoration and love and oozing with affection for Donald Trump. But look at some of the stuff that he said there, because this really is authoritarianism 101. So he said his main reason for supporting Trump is Donald Trump is going to make it safe again. That's what he said. Well, you know, Republicans historically have been known to play on fear. You know, they make you scared of the other, and then they sell the solution to the other. So Donald Trump's solution, one of the solutions is, you know, deport all undocumented immigrants, even though the overwhelming majority are doing jobs that we need, and they're good people, and ban all Muslims from entering the U.S. So my response to that would be, you say he's going to make it safe again. Safe for whom? Safe for innocent Muslim Americans who make up just a little bit less than 1% of the population? Not safe for them. Safe for Hispanic Americans. No, definitely not. We heard him say it when he announced his campaign. You know, the Mexicans, they're rapists. I assume some of them are good people. Some of them are good people, but they're rapists. Okay. No, he's not going to make it safe. He's going to exploit minority communities to get nativists riled up to support him blindly. The same thing any authoritarian regime does. And most importantly here, guys, to his point that, like, oh my God, Donald Trump is going to save us from the undocumented immigrants, or as he says, the illegal aliens, and that's the problem. That's what we need to focus on. Do I feel bad for him with his personal story about his son dying? Absolutely. What decent human being would not feel bad about that? But the reality is that there already is a policy that under the Democratic administration, President Obama, when he did his immigration reform executive orders, crystal clear, one of the provisions is if you're an undocumented immigrant and you commit a crime, you're gone. You're deported. There aren't many people who disagree with that. You know, Republican, Democrat, if you're an undocumented immigrant and you commit a crime, well then yeah, you either lock the person up for committing a crime, wasting more tax dollars and resources, or you deport them. Yeah, I'm in favor of that. Obama's in favor of that. The majority of Democrats are in favor of that, and Republicans are in favor of that. So you're arguing against a straw man. You know, this idea that like, oh, the Republicans are the only ones who care about fighting the undocumented immigrants when they commit crimes. No, the Democrats are on that page too. We're all on that page. The only difference is with the Republicans, and specifically with Donald Trump, not only would he kick out the undocumented immigrants who have committed crimes, which again, most of us agree with, but he would kick out innocent undocumented immigrants, people who've been here for 5 years, 10 years. They have family here, they have friends, they hold down a job, they're a key part of their communities. They bleed America. They are American in every conceivable sense except the literal sense in which they're applying to try to become Americans, and they're waiting for this long process, and they're waiting for the government to recognize them. And we know that most undocumented immigrants are good people. And what happens when you do get rid of all of them, as Donald Trump wants to do? Well, we know because Alabama recently, or a certain place in Alabama did that. Vice News had a great report where they found that the second they kicked them all out, all the business owners were like, oh God, we need them back. Okay, can we allow them back in here? And you had like stereotypical like boss white guys on farms and factories and stuff. They would interview them and they'd say, you know, the white man just doesn't have a good work ethic. I'm going to tell you that right now. We need them Mexicans. They work hard and they got family values. And so all of a sudden the narrative, like the typical racist narrative of like, you know, white people have family values and they work hard, the Protestant work ethic, that was flipped on its head the second they kicked out the undocumented immigrants. And apparently the white people came in, they didn't want to do the job, or they didn't do it well. And they're like, okay, no, we need the undocumented immigrants. So let's be decent human beings. You know, do a deal to, yes, allow the people who are here and are not criminals, allow them to stay here. And then, yes, I understand we can do border security, we can do protection, we can set up a system for only doing legal immigration. But you have to deal with the people who are here that are not criminals. Fine, deport the criminals, I'm with you. But if they're innocent, if they're good people who are just here trying to live the American dream, don't take that away from them. Don't do collective punishment.